disciplined, and that kind of play style, SSG just showed us that is where they want to live. That is where they beat reality TV. Expect to see that here, especially since SSG get to start out on defense.
Yeah, this map, it does not go quick. This is a Malusi Banshee of a map if I've ever seen one. And starting out on the defense for Theme Park, SSG can play structured if they want, but this map also tends to lend itself to a little bit of rat play. And if Rampy wants to solo roam and sit in a corner, well, on all the maps possible, this might be just one of the favorites to do it. The bans have been generally the same, at least for the first one, but reality TV, and this is, by the way, I just want to say, this is how dire things are. Mr. B, who I don't have the math on this, but out of all the players in the lobby in the past 6 months, probably has the highest playtime on Monty. Like, out of these 10 players, has banned Montaigne. Valkyrie, we know. I mean, reality TV always banned Valkyrie, but that is how much they are worried about hot and cold on the Monty and how worried they are about SSG once they get to attack. Is he banned out his favorite shield op. Wamai, of course, to round things out, SSG being fairly standard with their bans, banning Twitch every time, banning Wamai twice in a row now. But that Monty, that honestly reveals to me that reality TV, things are being treated very seriously.
Right, they might be a little bit scared here. They maybe prepared for Theme Park, maybe knew exactly what they had to eliminate, and they wanted to make it very clear that Hot and Cold would not be allowed to play Monty whatsoever. And I gotta say, I think that's a smart call, right? Who are you going to fear more, realistically, Carter? Are you more scared of Mr. B on the Monty, or are you more scared of Hot and Cold on the Monty? I don't know.
I don't want to be... okay, listen. I don't want to be that guy, you got to pay respect to your elders, but Mr. B's a really damn good shield player. He's like really good. I mean, like, again, Hot and Cold, he's been around the block, really good. But Mr. B... he's some about those shields, whether it be Blitz or Monty. He knows how to work it right. He's like the North American Anaton if you watch Cyclops over in APAC. Not that good, don't get me wrong, but still. He's
we should
very
really
good.
Just rename. We should rename this stream instead of closed qualifier broadcast. Just Mr. B compliment broadcast. Gas up Mr. B all day long.
I gotta say, it's probably just because we're CL, but we are, he's just such a nice guy. He's such a character.
I mean, hey, he's confident. He's clearly good at the game, and he desperately wants to win this best of 3. As a reminder to everyone, you hopefully just saw in our bracket that was on our screen a moment ago, this is a double elimination bracket. So if you lose here, your hopes for making the 6th Invitational are not over. You can still absolutely work your way through the lower portion of that bracket. Our lower bracket final happening tomorrow morning before the eventual grand final. So still, a lot of C's should be played, even if one of these teams ends up losing. No matter who, they still have a chance to fight their way in. And that's what Parabellum did, I believe, to get through when they made Invite. They fought their way through the lower bracket, didn't they?
Why, yes, they did. Indeed, they did. And they had to beat Beast. That was a weird qualifier, by the way, overall. It was a Parabellum Beast Coast final with Disrupt in the... It was very odd. So we just that one was kind of the black sheep of the bunch. But right now, this is SSG's world, and we're living in it. Well, not Hot and Cold's world. He's down to pretty low HP, being one of the main roamers on Theme Park at the moment. Hat will jump in, try to not only open up Barrel's wall, but try to cut off an avenue of rotation down to that first floor. Try to make sure that nobody who is playing around Bunkster Daycare can drop down. Nobody from SSG is really pushing over there. Almost all 5 defenders over on Dragon's side, and this is a huge reversal for what we normally see on Theme Park. Normally, even if it is a cafe arcade clear from the attack, we see at least some defender presence over by Bunks and Daycare, and maybe some attacker presence over by Top Dragon. But the defenders are where the attackers normally are, and the attackers are where the defenders normally are. The Rice is moving in Jonah. Try and get this first kill.
Yeah, I like the way that SSG are playing this, right? They're playing this a bit more passive than usual, and like you said, on the other side of the map, we just saw Hot and Cold drop away to safety, making sure that all 5 of these defenders stay alive when this inevitable execute eventually comes through. Mr. B will finally rotate over to that yellow wall to get that additional bit of control opened up and really expose this entire site, but it's exactly what reality TV need to do right now. SSG didn't heavily contest, or at least as heavily contest the top floor as rather heavily as we would have expected them to, right? We talked so much about that discipline, that extension that we were going to see from them. It looks like they're playing a lot more passively, but here comes that push.
But they've cut down Mr. B at the entrance. Diffuser dropped. Reality TV still keeping it close, all at the hands of Rice. But he's finally shut down by Rampy. 2v3, make that a 0v3 in a matter of seconds. Hardly even enough time to process the information. SSG are able to hold fast through the majority of the round, and when that narrow blip of action reaches them, it's decisive from beginning to end.
There's a reason why SSG are some of the best team out there. It's that discipline that they showcased again right there on round number 1. And if that's gonna tell us what this theme park is gonna be like, Carter, I am worried. I'm already worried for Reality TV because that round from SSG was just so perfectly constructed just from the start. They started on that top floor with a slight extension, not a heavy one, enough that there was hot and cold on the Solus where he could take care of those drones just on that operator really to deal with the drones. That was his primary job. He wasn't going to play up above to try to deny the plant with that gadget. He was an information denier, and that worked perfectly. He played safe. Everyone on SSG played safe so that when that clear, when that take from Reality TV eventually happened, there was simply nothing they could do because SSG didn't give them the fights.
That's what you want to see, but Bosco, come on, man. Oh, I thought he was going to go for a spawn peek. I was like, of all the players you'd expect to peek out these windows, Bosco, even with the FPX 1.5, but Bosco, no, instead, he'll just open it up a little bit and then back off promptly. If Reality TV don't have the shields, well, you can usually bet them to bring out something else. If they haven't banned it, they'll bring out the Ying to try to expedite these attacks. Mr. B normally finds himself on this break repel to initially throw in some Yings, startle the defenders, more importantly, try to drive one of them into a rotation that they can capitalize off of, and then get a pick on the board. One player on that arcade balcony right now, or I guess on that break balcony, he's not trying to get too aggressive. That's the Mira with a C4 prepped, ready and waiting to throw it. Mr. B's cooking those candelas. He's trying to blind them, but right as they go, that'll trigger Hot and Cold's instincts to throw that C4 on the balcony, and Mr. B will have to dodge. It goes out, but he's just slow enough. Escapes the blast radius, and there might be no capitalization from the candelas, but the C4 misses, and that might just be a win in and of itself.
I mean, that's just a piece of utility for a piece of utility, a trade 1-for-1, Candela for C4, and that's going to work out for Mr. B every time because he's got 3 more of those candelas in pocket, and Hot and Cold has no more C4s. Naturally, he's only got 1 to start off the round. But early on in this one, it'll be Tristan to start things off onto Yeti. A quick flurry of engagements, though, as Reality TV, they aren't wasting any time here.
Oh, domed by Tristan. Hot and Cold didn't even see his demise approaching. Rampy and Fultz make that Fultz just now the only one left. He's got that Specchio, so he knows where the case is. It's actually dropped on the floor at the moment. Nobody going for the plant. In my own head, I like to think that maybe they were betting the Solus or baiting the Solus, but I don't think that's true. They're trying to find this remaining defender and snatch his soul away. Fultz knows somebody might be prone. He can pre-fire Tristan. But it's still a 1v3. He's got to win, but not, well, I suppose a little bit of time, but not good positioning. Hat can get the bomb down, and he is so far away. One player from Reality TV going to finish him off as well. This is a 1v1. If the Solus can win it, that's a kill for him. Bomb on the floor. About 30 seconds left until that bomb can no longer be defused, but surely Fultz can get 2 kills, 5-0 so far, but he's got that mirror window in front of him. They'll hear the break. They know he's in initiation. Now he has to creep on in. No intel at the moment. Pre-firing, face-checking everything he can. But another 1v1 presents itself on the balcony, but time dwindling away. He's not looking either, and Hat will take advantage of that post plant. Get Reality TV their first attack after an initially botched execute.
Well, valiant effort there from Fultz. There is no doubt about that one. Brought that one all the way back to a 1v2 and had a chance to maybe squeeze out another 1v1 engagement or 2. But like you said, Carter, he had to face check every single angle. He had no information about where those final few attackers were positioned, right? Didn't have really any ability to track them down. Couldn't use that Solus gadget because, again, they weren't on their drones. They were just sitting up ready to take those gunfights and deny the counter defuse. So textbook work there from Reality TV, I would say, in the end of that round. But like you said, maybe the beginning, not so textbook. A bit of a botch to execute. They lost Mr. B early, and they just didn't get that sweeping control that you would expect when you do go for an aggressive move like that. Usually, those either work tremendously well or they fail tremendously badly, right? It's not typical that we see it somewhere in between, but round number 2, that's exactly what happened. Reality TV, they failed to take that initial control, but they were still ready to fight back. They were still ready to get those trades, and playing together in that second round really put them over the top.
You can never count out Tristan or Hat in those late rounds, man. If you give them an opening, even if it is an opening kill, but if you give them a space that they can work from, a little bit to start off, that they can maybe double or work for more, that's where they have thrived so far in this series. And 2 players narrowly escaping death. Hot and Cold tags Rice just a little bit, but a bullet careens past his head. Doesn't do any damage whatsoever, so he'll survive for the time being, but won't be playing too aggressively on top Dragon. He's got those goo mines, but he's just trying to waste only a little bit of time here, alongside the Solus, but oh no. The default cam outside is still up. We might not see any aggressive play, but it still results in Hot and Cold's death. Maybe a trade if Fultz can work his magic, but Tristan just knows too much. How does this man always find himself in the right position and finds himself a 2-body lead for Reality TV?
What a start in this round for Reality TV. That's 2 early kills. Tristan, the man himself, I mean, walks in, dusts Hot and Cold, does it again with Fultz. What can't he do? Now SSG are on the back foot, and they need to fight an uphill battle for the remainder of this round. And I'd argue that this is the hardest bomb site on the map to do this on. You're going to lab and storage. So vulnerable from just an all-out push from attacking teams. That's why we see this site rushed so often. But especially now that Reality TV can spread their manpower a little bit thinner, given that they're only in a 5v3, they can pressure this top floor all the while pressuring the site itself. With 2 SSG defenders up top, I'm just realizing this now, the site is completely understaffed. Only 1 player actually on the site at all. The moment Reality TV realized this, I mean, this could be a quick execute and a quick defuse if they're not careful.
You can have Tristan throw a nade bottom arcade in case anybody rotates down, but Bosco, that lone defender on the site, he gets 1, but he's now finished off. Yeti getting active takes down Giddy as well, but the attackers are still have the man advantage, and with the diffuser, have worked their way into sight. Nobody watching the stairwells, and Yeti inside of main lobby. They can start working towards the site with no pressure whatsoever. Mr. B can surely get this bomb down and get it down. He will. Yeti and the Azami both now peak, but Reality TV remains passive, remains patient. Tristan catches them completely off guard, and Yeti finishes things off. He, well, scores a goal in his own team's goal. And you gotta admire the effort, but that's a Reality TV victory.
Yeah, that is. And that's something that I think Yeti will laugh it off. It wasn't likely that he was going to make anything happen with that C4 anyway, but throwing it onto the door frame and blowing it up in your face is certainly going to leave no doubt as to exactly how that outcome would have transpired. But Reality TV, that is well done. I mean, as a team, sure, they did great, but let's just give it up to Tristan once more for starting off that round with a bang and immediately sending SSG back to the drawing board. Because SSG, with a lab and storage defense like that, it relies heavily on vertical control, but you need some amount of first floor pressure as well. You cannot neglect that entirely. And what Tristan did so well is the fact that he took down both of the players on that east side, on that gong push that Tristan was undertaking. That pretty much immediately removed all of that first floor control SSG could have hoped to have. Instead, with only 3 bodies up, they had to make a choice of where they want to put those remaining defenders, and they just had to say, you know what, let's bite the bullet, let's keep control of the top floor. Reality TV in a 5v3, they can do pretty much whatever they want. Even though they lost a couple of bodies, even though SSG fought back, Reality TV, they found the trades and they found the round win.
Tristan is just one of those players where if he has momentum and he is feeling himself and he's got a good idea for what he wants to do, he can take over games. But by the way, just so everyone is aware, Stage 3 of CL was his first stage of Tier 2 competition, and he has become one of the most talked about players outside of Mr. B on reality TV with how good this man is and how well he can take over games. SSG has lacked that throughout the year. They brought on Yeti, who has that potential, and just historically, Rampy and Fultz certainly had that potential as well. Fultz himself having an extremely good day today overall in maps 2 and 3. But if Tristan is on fire, that is a blaze that is difficult to get under control. SSG are creating another buffer on bottom Dragon at the moment with a Solus alone inside of Cafe, and he's managed to take down the wild card that is Tristan, but Reality TV still answer back.
Yeah, good to see Rice finding the scoreboard as well. 5 kills already through these first 3 rounds. Pretty crazy how Reality TV, their kills are on 2 players right now, and well, they're going to have a bit more trouble finding anything else because Hot and Cold, I mean, what a menace in this round number 4. Finds another kill. We saw Hat there get stuck in break room with nowhere to go and some good pressure from behind. They really got Reality TV trapped, and well, look at this. Yeah, 2 bodies dropped in break room. A devastating turn of events for Reality TV late in this round. Now Rice and Giddy have to find some way to come back, and well, they're not exactly playing on each other's hip right now. Rice is a bit separated and in fact a bit isolated. Risky here if he wants to walk in because there are 2 players top Dragon waiting for him. Giddy is finished off on the other side of the map, and so now Rice is left alone.
Diffuser dropped in split as well. That is just brutal. Basically the way he's going to win this is win it by kills, and everyone from SSG is waiting for him to push. Zombie pushes in, but they're just going to play the trade. Rampy sit in Furnace, waiting for that exact moment. The Azami even swings first, not to give Rice a freebie, but so that the attention is drawn away from Rampy and Furnace. So then when he swings, they can secure the trade, no problem. 2 round wins now for SSG. Took them a couple, rounds 2 and 3, to get things underway and get things figured out, but Throne so far has been the site where they have not faltered. It's been the other 2 that have been problematic so far. Bunk's Daycare and Lab and Storage. For Bunk's in particular, Tristan was able to start things off onto Yeti, but it was traded out. But yet, Reality TV are able to just flood in, take advantage of the chaos, and end up winning the round dominantly. For SSG so far, maybe putting a little bit more of that pressure, putting up a unified front, but an aggressive one as well, and trying to stop Reality TV at the door, might be a good way to stall even more time and force Reality TV into a position where they have even less time to think things through.
Carter, I love that SSG have kept Reality TV guessing in terms of what kind of defense they're walking into. Because through these first 4 rounds, we've seen a variety of different options from SSG, a variety of different strategies. They've shown us full passivity. They've shown us just going for drones and backing off all the way to the site. We saw that in round 1, and it worked to perfection. But in round number 4, another round that they won, it was kind of the opposite. SSG maintained those extended positions and didn't give them up when Reality TV were starting to push on in. And guess what? That also worked. They found 2 kills in break room. The site was downstairs on the other side of the map. That means the roaming was working. So now for these last 2 attacking rounds, Reality TV, they've got to go into each one with a little bit of uncertainty as to what to expect.
Certainly, at least for what they're expecting, things not to go as easily as they were before. They thought they could just throw a Candela into break and maybe a kill would go their way, or maybe they'll even catch the defenders off guard, and that simply didn't happen. And this time, we're caught off guard by Yeti. Tristan taken down on bunks. Tristan, I should say, was able to get the kill on Yeti in this exact position. Now, it fails. Reality TV can't trade it back. Yeti is not scared behind this shield at the moment. He is waiting for Reality TV to peek and not giving up this control. Hat is now rotated over to top Dragon. There's a 1v1 here at Info as well. He can bring that man count back, and now we're at a 4v4. But even with the equal man count, Jonah, they don't have the opening in terms of map control that they need.
Yeah, there's still a lot of space that Reality TV needs to take now, and they're doing it pretty effectively from the back here. Good pressure through waiting room, but they are getting absolutely stopped over on that cafe side. Pushing Yeti has been a serious problem. Now that he is I believe, backed off that shield. It should be okay for Reality TV to push in that way if they want to, but now it does look like they are fully committing to this backsided take. You've got Rice already there. You got Mr. B already there. The only player on the other side, right? That is Giddy trying to work his way in from the back. So a little separated right now, our Reality TV, but they do have control of initiation and office, and that is the first step if you want to get a push, at least on Bunk and Daycare, down successfully.
It could come down to what Giddy can do inside of Cafe. Fultz knows, but if Giddy can provide some necessary release pressure, it could make things better, especially now that Mr. B is gone. But yet he takes another down, hot and cold, a third. Giddy's looking down forward, can only get one. SSG take their third round in a row, winning one of the sites they lost before. If they can do that again, they're looking at a nice, clean 4-2 half.
Yeti on that Cafe shield. One position was enough to kind of give Reality TV a little bit of a headache, maybe a lot of bit of a headache, because Tristan died there. All of a sudden, you had your entry player, your big gunner, who was trying to enter into that side of the map, who you really need if you want to take that top arcade control. All of a sudden, he's gone. You're relying on your supports. You're relying on your flex. You're relying on those Rotero drones to kind of open up that space for you. It's just so much tougher without him on that initial push. And sure, Reality TV, they got one kill back. They took down Bosco, and that was something. But there was just so much more for them to deal with as they worked their way across into Bunk and Daycare, right? You still have to take care of initiation and office control. You still got to secure control. Again, if you're going for this type of push, of that Cafe side, or of Top Arcade, or of Break Room, or something like that. And they just didn't have enough time to get all that done. So another good disciplined round for SSG. A chance to go up 4-2 here if they could take another one in a row.
Lab and storage, problem here. We had Bosco all alone. He was so lonely on that site, Jonah. Only guy there. They all left him to go play with their toys around the map. This time, Fultz is taking up the cap cannon. Well, Bosco, he's still going to be on the site, let's be honest. It's Bosco, but Fultz might be looking to rotate back as he sits inside of barrels. Big thing here, Tristan two-pieced the roam, or at least part of it. The one focused horizontally inside of Gong and Throne last time when they weren't even inside of Throne. And he did it pretty much immediately. We don't see that same, at least, quickness this go around, but we do see some of the same positions played. We have the Capcan playing over in Throne and the Legion playing over Top Dragon. That might not be where the first engagement happens, though. They're holding it to be sure. Reality TV are looking to weigh their options first before we progress forward. Tristan looking over towards barrels right now. Rice moving up to the roof, but everyone coalescing around that Gong side once again. But the same take doesn't happen, or the same actions don't happen. Instead of getting 2 kills, Tristan cuts his HP in half by walking into an EDD, and now they're going to have to take Throne how they would have had to take it on the previous lab attack. Open up that yellow wall, which we just saw happen, but then try and coordinate a pinch, likely with some vertical pressure, onto those players playing inside and around Armory and Throne.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to just walk in for free this time because there's no double entry kill for Tristan on those players up above. They're not going to have to fight their way through them the old-fashioned way with a good bit of intel and, well, a couple of nicely placed shots. Fultz nearly getting in trouble in that engagement with Tristan, who is clearly proving that he is, well, very confident in taking these gunfights, repeatedly swinging on these defenders, and Fultz wants nothing to do with that. He will back all the way off. As Reality TV continue to move their way through this map, again, they need some amount of vertical control here, and they still haven't secured it. There's a lot left to do. Good thing we've spotted this, though. Hat is sitting crouched at that bathroom window and could hop in at any moment. He could be that key surprise that Reality TV are relying on. Thing is, there's still 50 seconds to go here, and Reality TV, they have a lot more control they need to take. Hat, if he wants to make that aggressive move, he has to wait until SSG are distracted, just like that.
And Rice takes down Hot, and then the clear on top yellow works. Tristan can now damage anybody walking down Arcade. Doesn't get a kill, but that's Rice's department at the moment. He's got to let the man do his job and just hold and wait back for the execute to hit. Hat sitting outside bathroom window, so patiently hops in as well. Some late vertical destruction to create some uncertainty in Fultz. Now the bullets sail through, and Rice is good for 3 in round number 6. Bosco's got to get aggressive, stop the window hopping. That's 1 kill for SSG, but 4 more to go. Only Only 7 seconds left. Almost everyone going to 1 HP on Reality TV, but there's too many angles to worry about and too little time to get those kills. Reality TV were able to win their final attack.
Yeah, that one got surprisingly close with the amount of HP that Reality TV had left, but 4 bodies up in the end, more than enough to get the job done. Effective use of those Goyo Vulcan canisters from SSG, detonating those with only about 15 seconds to go, and those will sit there for the remainder of the round, pretty much smoking you and flaming you out of the sight. But Reality TV, they knew they just had to brute force their way on in if they wanted to kill Bosco in time, and that they did. So just like that, we're tied up. It's 3-3, and Carter, it is still anyone's game. Theme Park has truly been the match we have hoped to see after those pretty one-sided map 1, one-sided map 2. We're now seeing the back-and-forth theme park that we've dreamed of.
Bomb located by
Getting those 3 attacking rounds, that might be what does it in the end for Reality TV. This map tends to trend defender-sided, and if Reality TV can keep up a solid game on their defensive half, this should be a close one. Don't get it twisted. But that might just be enough in the end, depending on how these attacks for SSG go. And these first 2 rounds will be critical to diagnose not only the trends, but any problems SSG or Reality TV might have on their respective sides. For the lineup for SSG at the moment, they're looking to try to capture that essence that Reality TV tried to bring. They're playing that Ying, but it's a different site right now. Armory and Throne. Bringing that Thatcher as well, they are looking to open up these walls, open up maintenance, maybe even another as well, bottom yellow potentially. And when that happens, send in Candelas one after another to get that bomb down and to throw Reality TV into complete and utter disarray.
This is why we see Ying banned pretty often on this map, and often when SSG is your opponents. Usually taking that Ying off the board is the smart thing to do, given how comfortable SSG are with those Candelas and with her as an operator as a whole. So keep an eye on that, because already SSG are making some good early progress. EMPs from that Thatcher, Selma charges from Hot and Cold, and that yellow wall, well, I believe it's already opened up. Hat might be able to remove some of those Selmas, but it looks like an impact from within has dealt with one or both of those Selmas, but they've at least opened up a hole. Reality TV now have to worry about somebody playing those angles at any moment.
Yeah, with that hole on yellow wall, even though the execute might not come from that way, as you said, they now have to worry about how they rotate inside of Armory, where they play, how aggressive they play. And once that maintenance wall is opened up, that could be done and dusted. First 2 Candelas go in on the roam, a smoke grenade as well, but no capitalization from SSG so far. Just a couple pieces of utility to aid the roam clear and to push the roamers back. Both the Oryx and the Capcan now pulled back to top yellow. In SSG, we saw Bosco creeping his way into maintenance. They're waiting to open up this wall.
When they do it, it's going to come quickly. Exothermic charge out, EMP out as well. That wall's going to open wide. Mr. B, is he going to get aggressive on this? He's popping up and looking for kills, but he is simply not going to get the opportunity. That drone spotted him out, so he will back off. Good discipline there and awareness from SSG. They knew exactly what was coming. Reality TV, they don't have any kills yet, and we know how they get when they don't have any kills. They get antsy. They want to get active, and Mr. B has now put himself in a very tough spot as a result. Question is, are SSG aware of it?
Oh, yet he gets his first kill. That's Hat gone and off the board. Reality TV are hungry, but they're starving for attention now. As SSG don't give it to them, don't give them the time of day. 30 seconds left, but we still need to see a push. An EDD Fultz walks into, but doesn't lose his life. He's still got those Candelas, but do they know about Mr. B? They might know, but they can't counter. He cuts down Bosco, but Hot and Cold has the diffuser. Fultz can still go on in, but he doesn't even go 1 for 1. Beautiful play by Tristan, backing up his team. That's SSG stopped at the door. Hot and Cold pistol out, gets 1. Can't get 2 as Reality TV keep the lead. Rampy has to be clinical. He has to be lethal. Hot and Cold can get this bomb down, but Reality TV, wait, they might not know. The bomb goes down successfully, but Hot and stuck in sight, and he's on 1 HP. This could be a 1v3 in the blink of an eye, and it'd be all up to Rampy. But Hot and Cold will stay inside for the time being. Knows he can waste time, spots the Oryx, and down he goes. Watching split as well. That's where Tristan has staked his claim, the hill he might die on. But Rice, as he flanks, falls to Rampy, and Hotton gets the 3rd. SSG take their first round on the attack with a nail-biting post plant.
Oh, what a way to win that round for SSG. It is Hot and Cold and Rampy with the clutch, and it is Reality TV who let that one slip through their fingers. It really felt like they had it. It felt like they denied that entry. It was all looking great for them until the end. Like you pointed out, Carter, it may have gone unnoticed that Hot and Cold snuck into the site and had the chance to get the bomb down, because if he was planting, we would have probably seen all three of those Reality TV defenders get a bit more active. Rice, after all, still had a C4 in pocket. Let me say that one more time. When the bomb went down, he had a nitro cell in his pocket that he did not use. And to me, that screams that they simply didn't know it was happening. All of them were on the other side of the map. They didn't get that sound call. They didn't have the cam on his position, and they probably assumed that they had successfully choked SSG out of the site, but they assumed incorrectly, and SSG got the bomb down, and then Hot and Cold and Rampy just got the kills they needed in the clutch.
5 seconds left before insertion.
And a good start on the attack, even if it was a clutch in the end. Not a 1vx, but a 2vx. That's still around, that was looking to go Reality TV's way, that they were managed to bring back. And whether if this is a rough attacking half, those are the rounds you can count on to just barely make the difference and keep you alive. But if this is the start of a dominant attacking half, it'll be proof that even when they're down, SSG are certainly not out. They've won the throne, and that's the site that the defense relies on as the stronghold on Theme Park. Now Reality TV will switch up to bunk and daycare. Normally see someone playing aggressive on cafe, making sure that that control just isn't free for the attack. But usually somebody initiation and office as well, except that's how Reality TV have liked to play it in the past. That's what they'll do here. Tristan in office, Mr. B in initiation. But one player already inside the building. A lot of focus from SSG, at least some of the lurkers focus on those cafe stairs to clear utility and maybe even get a cheeky pick if anybody tries to get aggressive against Yeti.
Rotero drone gets up and will take care of the lone Banshee on the yellow stairs. So SSG have identified some of this utility that Reality TV have set up across the map. As they make their entry, it looks like we're seeing a split-sided push here from SSG. They're working their way in from both the east side, this cash balcony, and they've got a little bit of pressure from the other side. Pressure that they have begun to rotate around. Yeti is down below. That will make the only attacker on that first floor. And now all four of them have now joined up and working their way in top Dragon. So clearly now they've got the one approach. It is going to be, looks like, initiation pressure as well as some office pressure to kick off this round. Tristan, holding this position in office, will have to lock this down as long as he can.
Lock it down as long as he can, and Tristan looks like he's trying to keep this under lock and key for the final minute. Hasn't given it up, has an angle as well. Somebody creeping up long haul, but he still goes down. The angle ends up going against him, not presenting him with an opportunity. He's not finished off, but there's no way any of his team could get him up. Rampy gets the first kill with only 50 seconds left. The yellow wall is opened up. That's another angle that Reality TV might not be expecting, alongside now the standard fare inside of office. But 40 seconds left, and the core site walls are still closed. Bosco will make quick work of that, and it might not matter if SSG can continue getting these kills. Another goes their way. Giddy's just on the opposite wall from Yeti. The Flores now knows, but instead he turns around and cuts down Fultz. The Flores on yellow. This is another 1v1 for Giddy, but SSG are watching that shield. They know the Jaeger's in Cafe. They know they can keep him trapped there. This might fall on Hat and Rice to win this out. Beautiful shot, beautiful headshot onto Hot and Cold. A second onto Rampy. Can he make it free? Bosco's quicker on the trigger, but him and Yeti have to finish this out and collapse on the defenders. Giddy can get the better of him on the position, but Bosco knows. Only 1 second left, though. He'd have to have a miracle flick to win this round, and it will not happen. Reality TV answer back.
Oh, they do it in a big way as well, Carter. I mean, SSG, they started off the round, I think it was 2 openers. Reality TV, I mean, it seems like their favorite spot to be so far this entire series, in a 3v5. They've won plenty of 3v5s. They've lost plenty of 3v5s. In this case, they won yet another, staying super disciplined and really just aware of where SSG were pushing from. And that's, I think, where Reality TV found their stride. They had some good intel, and again, flexing some incredible talent, some incredible gun skill, because we saw multiple players just buckle down and go to town on SSG if they could. Tristan, who is normally in that position, was forced out early and couldn't do that, but someone like Pat, perfect spot for him to shine. Giddy as well on that Jaeger in the end. Did such a good job of really clinching the round for Reality TV. If he didn't get that kill, right, that 2v2 could absolutely have gone the way of SSG if they were a little bit more together, but because they were split up, because one of them had to fight through that cafe shield position, that is where Giddy shined, and that is where Reality TV will tie us up at 4-4.
Keeping it close. What else could you want on a map 3? We have a dominant map, and now, finally, we're treated to an even contest between the veterans and, I don't call them the newbies, because, I mean, they've been around the block for the entire year and have been taking down pro league teams in some leagues recently and some quals recently. Definitely the younger blood that are still looking to prove themselves going into the 2023 season. Even if they don't make invite, a dominant win against SSG, or not a dominant win, but an impressive victory against SSG, even if it's their only one, if it's in a best of 3, it means something a little bit more than maybe a best of 1 victory against Astralis in SCS. This is a time for Reality TV, all 5 of these players, to prove themselves. They continue keeping this close, keep SSG on the back foot, and keep them guessing every second of the round. That is still a win, even if they end up losing the series and losing the qual. For this round in particular, they aren't looking to try and keep SSG at the door. They've all pulled back to Cafe and Bunk. They've ceded initiation and office to the attack, because SSG will take their time. They'll drone things out, be methodical about it. But once they start pushing into bunks and daycare, they'll meet the bulk of Reality TV's defenses and resources stocked up in that area.
Carter, you mentioned it. Reality TV, they're looking to make a statement here. And, well, taking the lead on this round number 9 could certainly do it. As we've learned from 2022, if it taught us anything, there's always people watching, and always pro league teams, always people looking to get another team into the mix, get another player into the mix to change something up. So Reality TV, we've already seen a couple of those original Reality TV members get taken to pro teams. The rest of this roster likely looking to do the same. But getting the invite, man, what a statement that would be. Rice will get one back onto Rampy, going 1-for-1 here with Bosco, and in an even 3v3, the site wall's open. I mean, anything could happen at this point, at this round.
And they've managed to stall them out on that top floor, bloodied them as they transition down to the first floor. Bunks is now empty. Cafe, nobody there, nobody home. Reality TV have done their job, wasted time, and damaged Space Station Gaming. Now with somebody barrels while they're a little isolated. This late in the round is where intel sometimes goes astray, but they've not only droned Giddy, but Yana cloned him as well. They know the Capcan is by himself. They can focus on this position, but if they can't get the kill soon, it'll just end up as wasted, burnt time. Fultz moving in, sees the Capcan, down he goes. That's what they were looking for, but only 20 seconds left. Mr. B gets aggressive, they've got a ping on his position, but the kill doesn't fly their way. But oh no, Tristan's worked his way around back. He goes for the flank, but what a 3,000 IQ nade, but a brilliant play by Mr. B. Hot and cold trapped outside. Frost mitigates the damage. A 1v3 for the Frost to take the lead right from their fingers.
And it's Mr. Biblical himself, Mr. B, who comes in with the clutch in the end. My God, Reality TV, what a way to win a round. Mr. B, captain, big brain man himself, he decides to display a little bit of gun skill and take it away from SSG, a round that it looked like SSG had without question. Wow. The last minute execute there from SSG, that's what's going to happen when you're running out of time. You're vulnerable to mistakes like that. You're vulnerable to individual plays on the defensive side. But at the end of the day, not a ton that SSG did wrong. Mr. B just did it better. Only 4-6 right now, but putting up a performance, putting up the numbers when he needed to.
It might be 4-6, but if 3 of your kills, if 75% of your kills might in the long run win you the game, yeah, you can be 4-6. It's all good. You got the impact frags when you needed them. Plus, Rice, standout performer today. Hat having some great moments as well, alongside Tristan. But I have to say, in his first on-stream game with the team, Rice has been so impressive on Reality TV, putting up numbers better than Tristan, better than Hat, better than Mr. B, so consistently on those support roles and specifically on the defense. Sure, Mr. B had a great round that game, but Rice top fragging right now for Reality TV. Just got to give another shout out because we shouted him out a lot on map 1. I want to just, slide another one in there on map number 3. We're going back to Throne for Reality TV's defense, and SSG are switching things up. When you see that Amaru on the board, they are flying into bunks, and they are trying to take control of bunks and daycare early. That doesn't mean they'll attack from that side, but it does mean they are trying to put pressure on the roamers early on. Try and make sure that if they try to rotate back, it'll be a little bit insecure.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the Amaru. You're right, you get in that map real fast. You can catch out the defense unaware, maybe stop some of those rotations before they can happen here. But look at this adjustment from Hat. A smart decision, but one that I think SSG were very prepared for. Trying to go for that early yellow wall. Reality TV, they say, we know what you're going to do, and we're going to deny it. A little back and forth, though, will end up going the way of Reality TV, as both Fultz and Rampy have been lost early. Reality TV also doing a nice job of holding this top floor, so when that player worked their way around to take care of Hat, somebody was lurking around the other side to find that trade.
Just beautiful play by Reality TV in the early round, knowing that SSG are going for that yellow wall, being ready for the impact grenade. Then, as you just said, Jonah, playing that trade when they inevitably go for Hat, but also still managing to keep control of this top floor. Now, 4v3 against the attack. SSG are somewhat left scrambling. They can still open yellow wall. They have 2 exothermics, but they wanted to do it with that ace. Now the exothermic is a lot more risky than a hard breach at range, but Hot and Cold, he's out of Selma's. All he's got left is the gun. He'll push on up as Bosco tags on for 2. That only makes it even. With 55 seconds left, Tristan retreats back to the site. Reality TV will take the next 50 seconds to play things inside of Throne.
Yeah, Hot and Cold, 2 drones here. He's going to take the time to use them, seeing if they can identify the positions of these final 2 defenders. And they're not going to be surprised to learn where they are. They're both near the site, ready to lock this one down. You've got Mr. B tucked over in Armory itself, just lurking around the other side. And the other one, Tristan, over in Throne. They suspect where this SSG attack is coming from, but Hot and Cold, he's taken the time, and a bold move at that, to rotate up above to get a bit more vertical control going with only 15 seconds left.
But Tristan, he's got this Kiba barrier, he's got the angle, but Hot and Cold flat Stanleys him from split, hits the prone and domes Tristan. Match point might be a world away now, but Mr. B's got 4 seconds to get these kills. Bosco planting, Hot and watching, he throws the impact, he's aiming head level, there it goes, but he doesn't get the kill. There we go, a little delayed, but still on point. With a defuse, Reality TV are just 1 round away from going to our upper bracket finals. And yeah, SSG, you gotta figure this out.
Yeti calling for the timeout, and a pretty good time to do it. You just got 1v2'd in the end. Hot and Cold, truthfully, it was a 1v1 because Hot and Cold was the only person on the coverage, and the other player had his face buried in that diffuser as he was trying to put it on the ground. But what a way to close that one out. It is Mr. B again. I mean, what can't he do? Showing up exactly when Reality TV need him. It is insane. It is 6-4. It is match point. It's not map point anymore, Carter. It is truthfully match point. The winner moving on to the winners bracket final against TSM just after this, going directly into the next one. So I was about to say, is that one tomorrow? No, that one is right up next. So SSG, if they want to get there, not only do they have to win the next 2 rounds and get us to overtime, but they have to take the win in overtime, which is a daunting task.
I mean, for Reality TV, going into another best of 3 after a grueling one is already going to be difficult. But if you're SSG and you have to play 5 more rounds potentially to get yourself to the upper bracket final, I mean, SSG are renowned for their system and are definitely one of them, I would assume, maybe one of the more mentally strong teams with the success that they've had and just kind of indicative of their play style. They might be able to withstand it better than most, but 3 maps, the last one going to round 15, and you gotta hop in shortly thereafter. That's going to be tough if they come back, but they still need to come back in order to get there. Reality TV, just 1 more victory, 1 more Mr. B 1vx could be what stands between them and TSM in the upper bracket final. Going to bunk and daycare. Reality TV will potentially play their final site, and this was another, not a 1vx Jonah, but a 3v5 for Reality TV. SSG getting both opening picks, but happening late enough that Reality TV were still in their positions and got the best of the attack.
And now that Reality TV, they know how vulnerable that slight extension was on this site last time. Wonder if we're going to see anything different, right? Not sure if Tristan is going to want to hold this position again, because as we see there, his rotate is over in Vault itself. It's not on that office wall like you would normally see, so he's a lot more vulnerable if he's spotted out. He doesn't have as quick of a rotation back to the site. And of course, SSG in that first round we saw on this site exploited that really well, trapping him in the corner and dealing with him quickly. They did that for the next defender they ran into, and they continued that pressure. Unfortunately for them, Reality TV, they fought back in a big way. So the difference here now is that SSG, technically, they're looking to start out the round the same, but finish the round a bit stronger. And Reality TV on the other side, I doubt they're going to allow themselves to be picked apart just as early as we saw last time.
Border and theme park, man, for SSG, those conversions, taking the opening pick and turning it into a victory, that has what has eluded them on maps 1 and maps 3. And right now, it's incredibly more dire than it was on map 1. They'll start their clear over by Top Dragon. Again, nobody playing aggressively on the stairs, but Tristan taking up his previous position inside of initiation, but we see a change. He backs off immediately. Last time he stayed in bathroom up until a minute left, and it cost his life. This time, he reinforces that yellow wall because what did we say earlier? SSG, they'll take their time. It's the one thing you can count on alongside death and taxes. So why give them the opening? Reinforce that wall. Let them burn their own time.
Well, the drone will quickly follow that retreat up, so they know that office is clear, and they will take that control moments later. Bosco on the other side of this top floor, we're working his way into control room, into security, as initiation is the next thing to come under fire, but you've got to be careful, right? There are still Reality TV defenders pressuring that, the last of which was Rice. He's actually backed on off now. Reality TV have hit the full retreat, losing no bodies on this defense and maintaining a similar amount of control. You could argue that SSG have more control a bit faster than they did last time, but the difference here is that Reality TV, they have the manpower to stop this execute when it eventually comes through. After all, there's only 35 seconds left, and SSG, they are bound to get started soon.
Who barely rotating away in front of that window, knows he'll be most useful on this long angle. Risk it, pull away. Mr. B starts things off, the Candelas go in, but they don't have the time to account for this Warden. They just have to push. Bosco blinded and now dead. The Ying somehow wins it, and we're back to a 3v3. Breaking their control in the site as well. For Reality TV playing for the retake, they are where they thrive. They're in the clutch, but Fultz has got the bullets to make it work. Tristan spots his prey, but can't land the kill. Plant down. Tristan alone. Smoke now obscuring his way. He can't take that angle down the long haul, so he's got to fight on the rotation. But Fultz is the reason SSG are still alive to go to round 12, the final round of regulation, to see who makes it or who has a chance to make the upper bracket finals.
All right. Fultz is him. I'm going to say it. That was it. Reality TV.
I'm not going to disagree.
Reality TV had won the round. They had everything they needed to win that round. All it took was Hat getting the kill onto Fultz as he was clay pigeon on the rappel, swinging into the window. That engagement is going to favor the defense 9 times out of 10. Hat was ready. He had already found 2 very impactful kills in the round. He had Fultz in his sights, but Fultz just turns on him, whips out the LMG, destroys Hat, and proceeds to get the next 3 kills, the next 3 essential kills to give SSG the win. That round doesn't happen without Fultz. It simply does not. He was in the position in the site, the only position that could have also stopped the convergence of those final 2 defenders on that planter. With the time up, all Reality TV had to do was shut down the plant from top arcade. The swing was almost free. Fultz basically had his body turned the other way, yet he whipped around and got 3 more. That is the play that just kept SSG alive here. And I know it's still match point and they still have 1 more to go. But, I mean, if this one goes to overtime, if they take it, that'll be the round Reality TV look back on.
We're giving a lot of credit to Fultz, and he deserves it, but really we should be giving a lot of credit to SSG as well. If you look at the scoreboard on each team, SSG has 3 guys going positive, 2 of them in double digits, whereas Reality TV, only 1 guy double digits, and everyone else, at best, breaking even, at worst going negative, albeit not by much. This is a game where the full 5 on both teams has showed up. But SSG has been getting the better of Reality TV in many of these rounds. But when it gets to the late, when things start getting slow, Reality TV have been able to burst back into the action, whether it be 3 bodies alive or 1 body alive. SSG know that their system works. They know they can push Reality TV to the brink, and if push comes to shove, rely on players like Fultz to make it work. But Reality TV have done it more consistently in this match. They'll want to be far more decisive in the early round and get those opening kills a lot earlier. They're starting over by Top Dragon and are looking to open up Yellow Wall once again to deny, Maintenance Wall, but still to deny Throne for being aggressively played by the attack. Almost half the round gone. It's the only thing they have so far. They're not slow by far. They're still making good progress, but I want to see an early kill for SSG, and that might be enough to go to overtime.
Well, nearly saw one there from Hot and Cold. Almost had the opportunity to fight with Giddy there, but this is a tough angle for the attack. Even if it's Hot and Cold on the other side with 11 kills right now, Giddy, he's got the advantage in this situation almost every single time. I think that's why we're going to see Hot and Cold back off. He knows somebody is up above, and he's going to move around and pressure from the other side. But surprising that we really haven't seen too much develop in this round, and there's only a minute left. I mean, just like that, SSG are down on the timer here, less than 60 seconds, and I gotta say they're lacking in this top floor control. Giddy's still comfortable up above. The one thing they're doing really well is horizontal pressure, starting to build that across the map, but as they've lost Fultz, and the first body starts to crumble, Reality TV, they're only a couple more kills from putting this one away.
Reality TV have the vertical control right now, and Rice is indomitable outside of reception. Rampy gets the first, but still only the horizontal is netting SSG anything. Hot and Cold begging Legion to peek, and Tristan answers his prayers. Not finished off, but the vertical is still sealing the deal for RTV. Yeti low, Yeti dead. Hot shoots the frost map, but can he shoot the other 3? The Fuser a world away, and only 10 seconds left. Reality TV, just hold fast, and you'll fight TSM in just a few minutes, and Rice manages to do it. 4 kills for the Bandit, 2 maps for Reality TV. They take down the favorites in stunning fashion.
SSG will fall and get sent to the lower bracket and Reality TV. My God, what a statement that was. Taking down an incredible team with an incredible performance.